Right, recording now. Because I'm getting a little bit of feedback here, and then I'm going to begin. Okay, so if you want to interrupt me, just unmute yourself and ask a question. That's fine. We're not a big group, so it doesn't matter. Otherwise, just type your thoughts into the chat window and I will get to those. Excuse me. So it's going to take me about 20 minutes probably to show you how to set up your class and add your pupils into it, send them work, and then look at what they've been doing and send them feedback. And after that, then you can ask any questions that you like. I can also get hold of any login details that maybe you can't remember and things like that. So I'm here to help get you started with this. So, right, okay. So what we're looking at here, I presume you can all see this screen here with the age bands and these teacher tools. We've got a little sign here that says we're in teacher mode. So what that means is that you've logged in with the login that all the teachers in your school are using, and you've arrived in teacher mode. When a pupil logs in, they see this view here, and again it says pupil mode just there. So I've moved back to teacher mode. So we're in the teacher view. We've got lots of tools in these pale yellow colours along the top here, all over here, and this little drop down of news information here. These are specifically for teachers. Behind the age bands here are what we call setups. So if you look carefully, what we've got is a setup for each year group, and they're divided into these age bands: early years, key stage 1, key stage 2. Now these are ready-made setups that we have made for you, and when you go in there you get all the subject areas, and then behind the subject areas you eventually hit the content. So the problem with these ready-made setups that say made by Busy Things is that anybody and everybody can access them, and they're not being monitored or tracked. So if one teacher hides some content, another teacher comes along and doesn't know that it's been hidden, and so on. So what we want to do is have teachers make their own setup and take ownership of it. Excuse me. And when you do that, it pops it into an area that is now called My Busy Things. So at the moment, your schools have probably only got a login that is used by all teachers and a login that is used by all pupils. So obviously, to set up this line of communication, we need to give you an identity on Busy Things so we know what is yours. So that's step one. So we're going to go up to manage setups here, and we're going to identify to edit your setups. Okay, so there's one teacher already on this account, but I need you to make your own identity. So the first thing you do is you just put in your email address, and you get to here, which is where you're going to create your identity. That will have sent you a verification email with a very short code in it. Now I'm just checking my email over here, and here it is. It's room 21. Okay. So then I put in my name as I want the teachers to see it. I mean, the pupils, sorry. I put in a passcode that's easy for me to remember. And I also make a little picture of myself here for the children to laugh at. Okay. So if you look now, in the top left-hand corner, we have Mrs. Hall. So at this point, Busy Things knows, I'm out here as well, that I am Mrs. Hall and that I am in teacher mode. If I stop using this ID here, look, so I log in with the login that you've got at the moment for all teachers. At this point, it doesn't know who I am because I haven't shown it that it's me. So if I want to do something like make a setup, it's going to ask me to identify myself. So let's make a setup for our class now. So we've made an identity, and now I'm going to make a class setup here. And this is the best kind of setup for the features that we're looking at, because we can get full timeline reporting and send feedback, and all the pupils get their own area, and it's perfect for remote teaching. So I'm going to take that default. I'm going to create a registration group for everyone in my class. Then it wants to know who is the owner of this. So I need to log in as me. So it says this setup is owned by Mrs. Hall, because that's the ID that I made. I'm going to be Oak class, and I'm going to make a year 1 class. I'm going to change the icon and change the background. Click next. I'm not going to worry about this. This is for sort of advanced usage. Just leave it on the defaults. And right at the end there, you get 2 options here. If you're operating in Key Stage 2, you might want to hand out this code, which is a quick way of older children entering your class for the first time. If you don't want to bother with that, then you can populate the class yourself now, add the pupils myself. So I'm going to do that. I've got a CSV file here. It'll pick up all the column names. So I want the name and the surname. There's my children. I'm going to click next. And then I recommend correct capitals and shorten, because that just gets everybody's name nice and short, and it protects children, families at home seeing other children's full name, and so on. So that's a nice option to remember. And then I click save. Okay. So what that's done is it's put all those pupils in the class. So I'm going to just go through again, and it's put the class in an area that is mine, called My Busy Things. It says, congratulations, you have made your first class. We've added a new My Busy Things section to your welcome screen, and that My Busy Things belongs to me. Okay, so we clicked this. Now we click this, we made an identity for ourselves, and then we made a class setup taking all the defaults, and at the end we imported the pupils in a CSV file. And here it is here, look, it says made by Mrs. Hall, whereas all these are made by Busy Things. And it has this icon here with the red square, because it's a secure class. So only the children that I had in that list can use this. And these are the open playground ones that I talked about at the beginning. Okay, so when I come out here now, you can see that I've got the My Busy Things area has appeared alongside these age bands. Okay. When I first log in to Busy Things in teacher mode, there will always now, because there is a class in existence on this account, be a My Busy Things area. But Busy Things doesn't know whose this is yet. So because this is what it looks like when you've just logged in with the generic teacher login. If I click on it, it'll say identify yourself, and you put in your code, and then you get to your own area. Now this is the class that we've just made. These are my messages and my files. And if I click on the class that I've just made, I get all these tools. So these tools are to send assignments to my class. This is where I'll be able to see all the files that my pupils have saved. This is where all my pupils can be managed. And this is a timeline of all the activity that my children have been doing. These tools along the bottom are for finding content and sending it to the children. So let's look at manage pupils first. This is the list of all the children that we imported. And every single one of them has been given a passcode. So let's look at Anne-Marie, the first child in the list. Her passcode is a key, a mug, and a cupcake. I can print login details up here. I don't know why it hasn't loaded them. Try again. Yeah, I don't know why it's not loading those on my computer, but we would ordinarily have Anne-Marie and then the three pictures there of her, and this is something that you can print off and give out to the pupils. So this pupil will be told you're in Oak class and your pupil ID is your name and the three pictures. Now I'm going to show you how that is used by a pupil. What I'm going to do is just change that to something much simpler so that I can not have to concentrate too hard on remembering it. So 3 keys, and I'm going to make a picture of Anne-Marie. There we go. Right, so we've got one child that we're going to work with now to show you what you can do. Remember, these checkboxes down the side here are very powerful. They give you the ability to group your pupils either into sub-teaching groups, so that if you don't want the whole class to be set the same content, what you'll need to do is select which ones you want in a particular group and either make a group from here or add them into an existing group. So a group is just another one of these. So if you had 3 children that you wanted to send content to at a different level, what you would do is you would create a teaching group here. I'm going to call it group 1. And I'm going to put that one at upper reception as if it's children that may be working at a lower level, and save. Okay. And I'm going to add the pupils myself. And this time, because it's a teaching group, it shows me all the children in my class. And I can say, well, actually, I just want these 3 children in that group. So that's a kind of subgroup of the children in this class. So everything that I'm going to show you in here to do with finding work and pushing it forward goes to all the pupils in this list. So you can delete them. and add them here. And it's the same out here. That's got its own managed pupils area with just those 3 in. So if you wanted to handle those 3 children separately, you do it in exactly the same way. Make sure you're in their group and use these buttons up here. But let's just do the whole class here. I'm going to send an assignment now. I'm not going to really go too far into what kind of content we've got. I'm just going to be showing you the processes. So you can assign quizzes, projects and worksheets, but I'm just going to do a project. I am going to assign animals of the Antarctic. I'm going to take all the defaults. I am going to choose a template. I'm going to say I want polar bears and penguins. And this is now saying, do you want to send this to your whole class? Do you want to send it to the teaching group that you've just made? Or do you want to make a new teaching group to send it to? But I'm just sending it to the whole class. And at the end of the process, I can send a blast. So I'm going to say for Tuesday, please complete this project work. And I can say how long this message will appear for. So I'm going to just say 24 hours and close and close. Pretty much throughout Busy Things, if you just take the default settings, it will handle everything for you. We've tried to anticipate the most common requirements. So you can see now, I've gone back one screen, we've got an assignment here. Remember, I went in here and I made this assignment by clicking Assign Project. When you click Assign Project, you can get all the different subject areas. You can search through with a search term, and these are the different types of projects. So you can fiddle around with all these filters and get up some things that you're interested in. The play button lets you have a quick look at it. When you click back, you'll come back here. So when you're ready, jump onto Assign Activity. You'll go through the process and it will appear here in a list of your assignments. So you can see it says number of submissions 0. That's because no children have done it yet. Let's just take a look at the class setup. I've just clicked on it. It's exactly the same as the ones that appear in the age bands out here on the welcome screen, same as these. But the difference is that if I make any changes to this setup here, that my whole, only my class are going to see it. So if I want to change the landing page to just fractions for the day, I can jump up to Oak Classes Settings and click Use Current Page and click Save. Okay, so now when the children log into Busy Things and go into their class, they're just going to see these activities. Right, I'm going to do one more thing here. I'm going to blast an activity. So this is the blast that we sent from the assignments area. This area will list all the blasts that are currently live in the class. I can edit it or delete it. And I'm just going to blast an activity as well. So let's blast action time and say counting. And close. So we've got another one now. A third thing we can do is pin an activity. So if I go into science, say, and I pin Mini Beast identification. So I've got pin to set up home page here. So I'm going to create a new pin called science, and I am going to confirm that I want that activity in it and close. Once you've created a pin, you can continue to add further activities to it. So I'm going to add this one to the existing pin science and click confirm. Okay, so that's the pin that we've just made. It's a little folder. So we've done lots of things in teacher mode, but we need to see what this looks like for these pupils in the class. So we're going to log in now as Anne-Marie. Remember, her passcode is 3 keys and she's in Oak class. I'm going to just send her a quick message saying welcome to my class. And then we're going to, so imagine you've sent the slips home. Everybody knows their passcode. This is the process that they will go through. So they need to log in with the generic pupil login that they're used to using, the classroom login or the home access login. Then they click on My Busy Things. Then they choose their class. Then they choose their name and they put in their passcode. And there we go. So these are the blasts that we sent. She's got one assignment. There's the pin, one message. When I click on here, I just see the maths activities because I changed the landing page. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to complete this assignment. Polar bears and penguins. And I'm going to write a little bit here, a little bit here. And I've got drawing tools as well here. So I can put some background in. And when I've finished, I get an option to save to carry on later or submit to teacher. So I've submitted that. I've got a little tick and there's no longer a number 1 there. This is the message. Welcome to my class. I can reply to that. Busy Things defaults to allowing you to, a pupil to reply to an open message. The pupil can't just message you. You have to be the last person in the list of in the conversation. Right, okay. So I'm just going to play this as well. What I'm doing is trying to make things appear in Anne-Marie's timeline so I can show you what that looks like.
Count how many star jumps the pink man does. How many star jumps? Well done. He did.
Okay. And then in the science pen, we have this activity. So I can colour a bug, put some eyes on it. And save. Sorry, this is me on my clipboard. It's not. go. Right, so I've done 3 things now. They will begin to appear in this timeline. This is only updated every 15 minutes. But what we'll do is we'll go back now to the teacher and hopefully to being the teacher, and hopefully it will appear. I'm logging out, going back to teacher mode. Okay, so come along. I've logged in with the teacher login for all teachers. I'm going to click on my busy things. I'm going to click on myself, put in my code, and then I can see all my classes. I can see I've got a message. So that's the reply from Anne-Marie. And if I go into my class and into assignments, I can see I've had 1 submission. So if I look at results, this is the piece of work that has been completed. It says the following pupils have not yet completed this assignment. So these are all the children, the rest of the class that we know haven't done it yet. And I can send a reminder to all of those children there. But I can also send feedback here to Anne-Marie. If you look here, we got these check boxes. If you imagine the majority of the class have completed this assignment, then all their work would start building up down here. And you can export the selected as PDFs and send feedback to selected as well. So you don't have to feed back to each child individually. You can batch that process. So that's a message that's gone off to Anne-Marie's messages area that we just saw. So let's have a look in the timeline now. There we go. So you can see that this is the class timeline, but because we're only using 1 pupil in the class, there's only 1 pupil appearing along the side of these. But ordinarily you would have a quick preview of all the children that have completed this task, and you would be able to view the files and send feedback through this window here. And the same with a game, you can send some feedback here. So let's do that one. Okay. So we logged in, we had a look, we could see that Anne-Marie had done the assignment and had also coloured a bug. I'm going to go back now and be Anne-Marie, 3 keys. And this is where I pick up my feedback in her messages. So these blasts were set for 24 hours. When Anne-Marie logs in the next day, they won't be there. So when you are making assignments and sending activities, be mindful of how long they're going to last. It is on the screens in the process, and you can choose various options. But in this way, you can keep work coming, and you can certainly plan ahead. So I think I'm aware that I'm a little bit rusty after Christmas. I might have gone a bit too fast. So please do feel free to ask any questions. Either put them in the chat or unmute yourself. But if you're happy, I can just share the video file. Anyone? Okay, I'm going to assume then that, well, Deborah's happy, that's good. that you're all happy just to receive a link to the recording and study it in your own time. Like I said, I probably have gone a bit fast because I haven't done this for about 3 weeks, so it's difficult to do judge the pace after a while not doing it. Right. Okay. I'll send you all a link. I hope you manage to get your classes set up and your pupils. I'm always here. I'll just put my name in. If you want some specific help, you can email either me or Sue. And you can call us. You will get directly through to us and we will be able to help you immediately, 9 times out of 10. Right. All right then. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Hall. It was a great pleasure to listen to you, and it will be really useful for all of us, I hope.
Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Rachel.
Okay. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.